Hi everyone, it's Holly. It's nice to meet you. I want to talk to you about Mercury in retrograde and what exactly does that mean. I'm going to tell you something that when I first started studying astrology, which was suggested to me in my mid-20s, right at the same time I was starting to study my dreams because I had an enormous amount of dreams every night that I remember verbatim. And I was a skeptic. I didn't think the stars could tell us anything, but I have always been someone that does my own research and makes my own judgment, and I don't just make a judgment based on what I feel like at the time. And I can tell you that I was an average, B plus student in school, and I worked for that. So I'm not one that really wanted to get involved in reading a bunch of learning material. And I picked up my first book, which is by Mary and March, The Only Way to Learn Astrology. And I probably read that book within a week. I couldn't stop. I got stuck on the mathematical part because they teach you how to do the math to draw up somebody's chart. But now we have computer programs to do that. So that's great. And and I applied it to myself. I was my first study, and then I started applying it to people that I knew, and it blew me away. I couldn't believe it. It was like, wow. Shortly after that, actually about 10 years after that, I went back to university and I took a philosophy and a psychology courses at the University of York in Toronto. And then I started really getting into my astrology using those techniques as well. And I found that my psychic ability, my intuition started to kick in probably about several years after that. Unknowingly, I would use examples, metaphors, sort of stories that I would use for my clients to try to explain situations, and 8 out of 10 times they would be like, that just happened to you last week, that story that you used. Were you in my home? Right? So I started realizing that I had a little bit more going on there. So I want to talk to you today about Mercury in retrograde, and there's a lot of stuff going on with that. It started in 23rd of March. It's going to go direct again on the 5th of May, and actually it's going to start going to direct in April, but it doesn't return back to its original position till the 5th of May. So what does that mean exactly? What it means is that it's an opportunity for us to take a look at some of the plans that we've made. It's in Aries. Okay, so there is this urgency to want to pass information on quickly, get information quickly. So if we're sending off emails, we get really a lot of aggravation and frustration because possibly we're not getting the messages back, our questions answered quickly. And but it's a time for you to go inward, introspectively, and start thinking more about if you're going to launch something, if you're going to start something, if you're going to, even if it's beginning a new way of communicating with a loved one or a friend, or possibly you want to approach somebody, and it wants you to really have a brand new start in the way that you communicate, and it wants you to be courageous and adventurous as well. So this gives you a window of opportunity to find where that courage is, to find where that energy is in order for you to begin anything new. So what happens is there's setbacks, there's a slowing down of communication, and there also may be kind of putting one's foot in their mouth. Either you may speak too soon, too quickly, and then look back and go, what the heck was I saying? Why did I say that? Why didn't I think about it a little longer? And you may be getting that from other people as well too. A lot of people that are benefiting from this are the fire signs, and that is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So you're going to find this time a really exciting, aggressive, feisty time for you to pull up your bootstraps and get the job done. You're very motivated right now, and you're very eager to get things started. But again, take a look at getting some more information, and if you can, the 15th of April, you can start moving forward, but do expect that there's still more information going to be coming in at May 5th, after May 5th. And the air signs, it's the same prediction for you as well, and that is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, now you've noticed that I didn't talk about the water and the air, the water and the earth signs, because we're the ones, I'm a Virgo and I've got a lot of air in my chart, so we're the ones that's struggling a little bit more with this, and a lot of it has to do with just basically being impatient, trying to get the message out, trying to get the word out. And there's other things that happen too, where there's problems with computers, problems with our cars, it could be headaches, a lot of headaches during this time. They could be the metaphor of this is a big headache. And so my advice to you is there's the information. You don't want to push the opposing sort of where you're wanting that information to come from, whether it be an email from somebody, you're waiting for something in the mail to come, because you're going to get an answer that will not be as satisfactory as it will be if you can sit on your laurels and wait for a little bit. So in the middle of May, Mercury will move into Taurus, and so all of the things that you began and you started right at this time, and you really took the time and you planned and you waited for new information to come in, and you were able to sit back until May 5th. And I'll tell you, this is a hard one for me because I'm looking for a car. And even though we're looking and we're researching, I'm best not to actually purchase that car until at least after the 15th of April. And I want one now. And I'm getting a secondhand one, because I want an economic car, a smart car. So yeah, I'm listening to my own advice, and I know what I'm doing with astrology, and I still find it hard. I'm still impatient as well. So hopefully that'll help you out for the next few weeks. Namaste. May the stars be with you, and may all your dreams come true.